Hello and welcome to the Bowlers Union. This is the Ashes wrap up live. Keith and Chris here as usual. Have you got all your Christmas shopping done, Keith? That's the
I
big
think
one, isn't it? Because we're getting
I
to that
I
point.
actually I actually think I have. I think I have, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty chuffed. I've done it. Most of the wrapping's done as well. I think I've actually achieved my goal early. I'm normally like just looking at buying presents now.
Fair play. I've got a bit. I've got to go in to Leamington in a bit actually, which I'm annoyed that I've put myself in that position because obviously it's going to be really busy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's going to be a
yeah.
bit hectic. But anyway, I guess the inevitable happened in it today. England put up. To be fair to them, they put up a fight, didn't they? In this last innings, but England have lost. They're 3-0 down. Australia have retained the Ashes. Uh, in a way, I feel relieved that it's over.
Really? Oh, I'm disappointed it's over. I had high hopes. I think we both had high hopes. I think a lot of English cricket fans had high hope because we were hearing about, or not hearing, we'd seen this new way of playing and aggressive cricket, or not aggressive, but kind of positive cricket. And
Yeah.
it's just not gone as what we thought it would do.
Yeah, I think a few things have happened. I've been reading some reports on Cricket Info, that sort of stuff. Um, is Stokes has confirmed that he's happy captaining, which I think is really good. I know. But in my opinion, the tactics I don't rate them particularly, but I think that comes from almost above him a bit, if that makes sense. I do think Stokes is the person to captain this England team,
Mm.
in my opinion. So I'm really pleased that he's he's committing to it. But Stokes did an not Stokes, McCullum did an interview as well, and he sort of talked about uh, maybe they got the preparation wrong. Did they deal with the sort of pressure and scrutiny of, you know what I mean, being in Australia? And pretty much just said that Australia had batted better, bowled better, and fielded better, which I suppose is fair, isn't it?
It is fair, but at the same time, did Australia just put more emphasis on the actual how important it was? Like if you look at the dismissals, you can say how they batted better. No, they didn't give the wickets away, as harsh as it probably sounds, but they actually valued the wicket a lot.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's going to be one or two players like your head and whatever who are going to bat the way they do, but that's been tried and tested for years for him. That's been working. So, but everyone else has just batted correctly.
Yeah.
Which is it's been a shame. I looked this the last innings that's just happened there. You had Jackson Smith who actually started to bat really well.
Yeah, they did.
Smith was looking really good, and he hit start for two very well controlled boundaries.
Mm.
Then it's like, how many boundaries can I hit him for? I don't really understand that shot, as in where that came from, because it seemed to be ramped up from being controlled to kind of this is going.
Mm.
But it's not just that dismissal. It seemed that's been the kind of trait that the batters have had all three tests
Yeah.
at some
I,
point in their innings.
yeah, totally agree. I was going to bring up Smith because appreciate he's batting in a scenario there. Maybe was he with Cast at the time, so he's probably feeling like he's got to get the majority of the runs. So I'll I'll put that on record. However, that shot was honking. It was a honking cricket shot to bat so well, and I'm a big fan of his. I really do think England have got a good in there. Being totally honest, but to play as well as you do there, and then you play that shot against Stark. Yeah, it was just that. I guess that typified it really. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like 60 and out kind of thing,
Yeah.
which isn't going to win too many test matches. And again, the nature of the dismissal. And like we've obviously played a long time. Sometimes that matters. Do you know what I mean? It is the optics and what things look like does matter. You can dress it up all you want and say, oh, we're going to do this, that, and the other. But if you get out playing across the line and in an ugly way, it's right that it gets scrutinised, I suppose. And again, this is a guy who batted superbly, so I appreciate he got England into a good position. But just when you're just like, just keep playing, just keep playing. You
Yeah.
yeah, a bit disappointing. But obviously, Will Jacks batted well as well. To be fair, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He. You know more about him than I do, I think, because obviously you've probably played against him. He just strikes me as a guy that should be should be in that side, especially if they don't think Bashir's quite where they want at the moment. It looks like he's a really nice solution for temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's fitted in quite well. He probably does need a run of games as well, I think, to build his confidence. But he seemed to start pretty well, and it looks like he's got a good future ahead of him for sure.
So I did want to circle back. Obviously, today is disappointing. The Ashes have lost. We made some predictions, didn't we, at the start of leading wicket. I'm on it. Cast has got 14 wickets, and he's currently 5 ahead of England's next best bowler. I reckon I'm winning that one.
Who did I say? I can't remember.
I think you said Archer, didn't you? No, you didn't say. You said Atkinson. I think you might have said Atkinson.
Right. Well, that's not gone well. That's not gone well for me.
No. Although, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised with the way it's gone with him. I actually think he bowled quite tidily, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? But he just didn't perhaps get the results. On the batting front, my horse Zach, he's going all right. Root is our top scorer at 219. Crawley's at 214 at an average of 35 and a strike rate of 200. So Crawley's lurking, and he's still not got that big 170 yet. I'm thinking Melbourne.
I don't think that 170 is coming. I'm sure I said Root, to be fair. So I'm leading for now, but obviously Crawley's close. I still don't think he's done as well as I'd like him to. But I did see there was a lot of criticism. Actually, it was Michael Vaughan was saying, I think I sent you the clip. I don't know if you saw it, but he was saying how many issues there are with the England team. And he's like, there's no backup keeper. There's no, he said there's not even a backup opener. So Crawley can fail as much as he wants. He's gonna get 10 innings anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what? For me, it looks as though the only positive thing from these first 3 test matches is that Joe Root got over the line and got his 100. He did it. Well done,
Yep.
Joe. That's the only positive as an England cricket fan to be happy about.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'll add in Archer to that. I feel like Archer's been, although he copped a bit from the media, didn't he? Which, when you're a bit like, that was all noise, in my opinion, there. But I think Archer's been top class and just shown that he's just world class when he's fit and firing. Weird, Stokes. I don't really have any beef with Stokes either. I've seen how hard he's working out there and stuff like that, so I'm happy with Stokes. It's just kind of the rest, really. How would you evaluate Cars's performance at this stage? So I'll give you his stats just quickly.
Yeah,
So he I've got the batting ones up here. Give me just 2 seconds. So he's got, what have I got there? 14 wickets at 29. Economy of 5. Dead on, virtually.
See, the economy lets me down. He's got a decent average, but I'll tell you why I find this difficult is because I'm used to knowing what people's roles are in a team, but I don't know the roles of the England bowlers. Can you tell me what they are?
Oh, this is a good point. Very good point.
Because that's the only way. That's the only way I can really judge Course on his role.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Archer's your freak, who can do anything. Right. He's just like, yeah. He can be a holding bowler. He can bowl 150 Ks. He can do it all. So he's like, he's your Bumrah, your Cummins, your Rabada. He's in there, I'd say. Atkinson, I think they see him as a steady bowler. I think they see him as quite economical, holds his line really well. And I'm not saying he's like slow or anything like that, but I think that's how they see him.
Yeah.
Cars, I think they see Cars as, I think they do see him as a wicket taker, to be honest, as a guy who's stock ball, has got good energy, good bounce. In the UK, can obviously shape it a little bit. But I think he's a guy that they quite fancy using the short stuff with. And I think Tong in this instance is a little bit in that category as well. Bit of X factor. And when we say X factor, like the real X factor bowlers, Archer. But X factor in terms of
Different.
more aggressive, more attacking.
Yeah.
I suppose that's how I see him.
Yeah, I'd say from that point of view, then yeah, he's done pretty well. I'd just like his run rate to be less, but at the same time, when you've got field positions that they set, it's probably quite hard to go at less than fives while trying to
Yes.
take wickets.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In all the teams you've played in, has there ever been a team that's gone, don't worry if you go over fours?
Never, ever. And if anyone was to go over fours, they probably wouldn't be playing the next game unless they were the freak bowler in that team.
Yeah, I find this is a really interesting one because it's quite easy for teams to go, right, we've got this one bowler and we're happy for him to be expensive. But actually it can, if it doesn't work, it can actually go quite properly the other way, can't it? And then that player, then it's hard for them to kind of sustain their place over time. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, in the next match now, I'm pretty sure they'll be sniffing around Atkinson maybe again, and or Potts. I can see something happening there. Well, Cast potentially is, you know,
Yeah,
well, although he's
he
got his 14 wickets, so
he's got 40,
could be
but
talking
they
nonsense.
may change it up just to give him a bit of a rest. We don't know. Also, I'd like to see a change in that batting lineup. There has to be.
Oh,
There
you're
has to
talking
be.
Pope here, aren't you?
And actually, serious soccer fan has just asked a question about was it a mistake for Smith to take the gloves? And they were talking about I saw them talking about is it worth Pope moving down the order and maybe giving Smith a break? But Smith's just got some runs, so you kind of got to keep him in the team, I think.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I really, really like Smith. I just wish I could say to him, mate, just keep playing straight. If they and pull what you can pull, but keep playing straight. That's it. Think down the ground, old school. Just think up and down the ground, mate, and you'll be. And he would do so well.
Mm,
I mean, what Pope down to 7. I mean, Pope's not got. Let me check. Pope's not got more runs than Smith, has he? I don't think.
I don't think so.
So I don't necessarily think that would make sense. I genuinely like Smith a heck of a lot. So that's not something that I would be. I'm just trying to find him. Bloody hell, Jamie Smith. Here we go. He's averaging 22 at a strike rate of 80. Pope averaging 20. So like, I'd probably just stick with Smith personally. I wouldn't. I don't know who suggested that. I wouldn't muck around really. Um, what else have we got here? Was Bashir not picked due to his economy rate? I think probably, yeah. I mean, ultimately,
Yeah.
he played that game, didn't he, in the Lions game, and he didn't do terribly well. So this was a game he would have come in, but potentially, you know, yeah, he didn't
I
do well
think,
enough in that game in between.
well, I think it was an easy decision to make for the selectors to go, we're not going to pick him because he hadn't bowled well enough from an economy point, right? He got a bit of tap, hadn't he?
Mm.
Which makes it more difficult as a player to then fight your case to be in the team.
Hey,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, and you know what this is reminding me of? I tell you what, in every team in my career, 100%. Whenever something's not quite right with the batting, it's always a bowler that feels the pain down the chain. So, for example, England
Yeah,
aren't getting as many runs as they should.
yeah.
Or we'll play Jacks because
He
he
can bat a
offers us
bit.
a bit of batting. He
Yeah,
might not be,
bit of
and it's like,
potential.
hang on a minute. How about your top 6 perform?
Yeah.
So obviously then you're like, well, but Bashir's missed out, and that happens all the time. Or
Hmm.
we're leaving you out today just for balance, just
Yeah.
balance.
Do you know what?
You're
Never
like,
ever, mate, never ever has there been it where, yeah, this bowler's struggling this game. We'll keep him in and we'll bring in another bowler and we'll sacrifice a batter. Like it just doesn't happen. It makes no
nah,
sense.
no, it really doesn't. I like this from serious soccer fan. Another question: why can't Root bat at 3? He's England's greatest ever run scorer. Uh, I think this is a UK thing. Is that I think maybe it's due for the Duke's ball. I think people quite like batting 4-5, don't they? The best batters quite like. Ultimately, they're like 4, a bit more than 3. Um, so you'd have to ask. I mean, Root could bat 3, couldn't he? He could do.
Yeah.
But like
He could bat wherever he wanted, to be honest with you. He could open if need be. Um,
totally.
I think it is a bit of a Duke's ball thing that you could still be exposed to a fresh, brand new Dukes early on, and you'd rather just have a little bit um, of the lacquer taken off by batting at four and hoping your openers in three can do a good enough job to make your job easier.
You know what? 100%. Although, you know, which is interesting, and I don't know that many batters think about this enough. What age ball do bowlers love bowling with? And the answer is with a Duke, I'd swear, is like 10 to 30.
Yes, yeah,
And it's like,
yeah,
oh, you've got
yeah.
you've got a nice bit of definition in it. You still got the
Hmm.
hardness and the newness, and you can
Yeah,
really go to work.
yeah,
And batters like, oh, I'll go four. It's like you can go four, mate, but actually, that's fine.
yeah.
So I think
That's
yeah,
true.
they get that wrong a little bit
Mm.
sometimes. I mean, he could bat a three, but I think it's widely known that he doesn't want to bat three, right?
Also,
Psychologically, three must be annoying.
it kind of gives you hope there's a little bit more of stabilization, him being at four to bat through towards the end. Whereas if you get through like but the second wicket three's out, you think, oh, Root's there. Whereas
Mm.
if you get number three and Root's out, you're like, all right, let's get into him. Like there's no one who I'd be backing to bat four who I'd feel comfortable with ahead of Root.
That's fair. Do you? So we're talking about the batting order. Then, do you see a change in the batting order now?
Has to
Finally,
be. There has to be. How can there not be? This Look, yeah, with the Bowls Union, but this falls down to the fact that the batting has been poor for three tests. They've not done as well as they could have. The bowling has been a mixed bag, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But the example when you're 100 for one, you're essentially 100 for one going into your second innings, where you should be going on to make them chase 350, maybe even 400, and you
Mm.
leave them 200 and pittance to chase. It's like, well, you've screwed it up there. And I think I saw Monas Labuschagne talk about it, saying, the Ashes for him is about moments and how things could have been different if England, with that 100-run lead, where would the batters have been if they'd made Australia chase 300, 350? They'd have been in a
Mm.
better space. They could have won that game, and all of a sudden it turns on its head. But yeah, I feel that there's not been enough emphasis on the batting. Well, the batter's really doing the job and actually just batting without losing the shit, basically.
Can we? I think this is us on record saying tactically, England's batting approach is shite, isn't it? It works against. It will work against the second tier of teams 100%. But it's not going to work against the absolute top level bowlers in the big series that we really are invested in. India, Australia, and I'd say South Africa. Those three opponents, I just don't see it. I don't see it being sustainable at all. It'll provide a little bit of excitement, but ultimately, um, that excitement is replaced with quite a lot of frustration and disappointment in the long run. A little bit like eating a sugar cube. You know what I mean? You see the
Mm,
sugar cube, don't you, on at a cafe? Like, you know what? I'll just pop one of these, pop one of these, and then it all ends badly because you start flagging. It's like when you're a kid. So I think it is an unsustainable method. And you're right. If in that first test England had knuckled down, like those shots from who was it? It was Root, Pope, and Brooke, wasn't it? Three awful loose wafts outside off stump. If you remove those, I wonder what the outcome might have been if they'd have just kept
mm,
going, been a bit more disciplined, left a few. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Made the scenario or got Stark back into another spell. All of this stuff. Um, so serious Sox fan firing away here. Duckett. What's your thoughts on Duckett? He's been. This is the quietest I've seen Duckett.
Yeah, he's gone under the radar a little bit, as in for not performing as well as you want him to. Um, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe because he's normally quite quiet, apart from the one time when he said we're happy to chase more runs, um, last year or whatever it was. Um, I think because he's quiet, he doesn't really get noticed, and the people know how he's going to play and kind of accept it and accept the good with the bad, I think. That's why nothing's really been said about him.
Hmm.
You'd like to see him perform better, don't get me wrong. But I feel like there's been two batters in that lineup that have been questioned for quite a while. That's why there's been focused more on them than there has
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. You know what I think is hiding some of this English batting, or until they've come here, is English grounds and the value you get for your runs. Like you hit the ball and it travels quickly across the square. The grounds are small. You get amazing value for your shots. In Australia, you have to be a bit more. You have to hit the ball harder. You have to keep your shape better. All of these things matter in Australia. It's like it really rewards good fundamentals.
Mm.
I think is that potentially hindered Duckett a little bit.
Maybe, maybe, but let's if we just look at, I think you kind of said it there, but look at the whole batting lineup, not just Duckett, but look at the whole batting lineup. They have played these last three Test matches as though they're playing on the real flat, dead wickets that gets talked about over in England, and they've not adapted at all to the type of wickets they've been expected to play on, which that's just, for me, that's just poor management and poor assessment as a whole.
Mm.
Surely there's been discussions of the wickets and what to expect, which I'm sure they would have, Chris. But they have literally played these big loose shots as though they're playing on the flattest decks that we provide over here in Test cricket. And that's not me saying flattest decks, that's through me having chats with international bowlers who still play international cricket. So that's from them, not me.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's switch it back to bowlers then. Cummins has been out for a long time. Comes straight back in,
He's
and
literally just gone, all right, lads, yeah, I'll come in. We'll win a game. Cheers, I'm off now. I'm not playing the next one. I might play the last, but we'll see.
I mean that's a good point. I didn't even think that. Do you think they'll just say, "Oh,
At least he's come out and said that he definitely won't play Melbourne.
has he
Um,
actually?"
yeah, he said like there was an emphasis
Oh my
to
God.
try and play this game. Oh, I think from the start, assess the results and go from there. But now they've won it,
Yeah.
he can just kind of look after himself.
Jeepers, man. Well, he's come in. He's just got two threefers, which is literally bread and butter, and been brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful bowler. One more question then, I guess, before we wrap it up. What did Rahan Ahmed do wrong not to feature in the squad? What's your take on this?
I mean, you've obviously played with him for quite a while, so I've not seen him bowl enough red ball cricket. I felt that he was more white ball when I saw him um, early on in his career. I know he's still young, but you probably have a better understanding than I do.
Yeah, I think your instincts are right. I think he started off probably finding white ball bowling easier, but this year he had his best red ball season with the ball.
Yeah.
Definitely was like really good. I was really impressed with him, to be honest. And obviously batted superbly as well. I'm yeah, I am probably surprised he wasn't even in the squad. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there would be ways to utilize him, and I thought especially with Bashir, I thought that would be a nice pairing. You know, the off
Mm.
spin and leg spin, particularly with Adelaide and Sydney, which can spin, where they might have wanted to play two spinners perhaps, but. Um, Yeah, again, even that when you lose games at the start of the different talk, when you lose games at the start of the series, it affects your team selections and stuff like
Yeah.
that, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
you see, like Bashir didn't play this game, so it's tough. I don't know. He didn't do anything wrong, is the answer.
Is a
Rahan.
question for you, is Pope done now for this Ashes test?
It's an opportunity, I think. Now it's an opportunity for Bethel, isn't it? So I think he might be. Yeah. Although they are loyal, and that is a nice attribute, I suppose. Stokes and McCullum are loyal, it seems. So it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do anything. But I think you might see Bethel come in. Yeah, yeah. You?
I think they'll change the lineup. I do think they'll take Pope out of the firing line a bit because it's. I said to you at the start, mate, that this could happen. And I said to you, I reckon, I said the last two tests, I thought Bethel would come in.
Yeah,
And I'd be very surprised if he doesn't.
yeah. Got to cash in. Right.
Mm.
I've got to drop George off to cricket and then pop and do some Christmas shopping. So this is the perfect time to wrap it up. Keith, it's been lovely chatting and thanks for your questions. If you asked one, Appreciate that, and we'll podcast again for you soon. So take it easy. See ya.